When you're fishing, you do a cast. When you've broken your arm, you wear a cast. Mike Peru is half cast. Now listen to our podcast, The Edge.
Hello.
Dane!
That's a little better.
Awesome.
That's
We're
good.
gonna shout if we need to just to make this thing happen.
Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
That's all right.
That's all right. How are you, man?
I'm doing very good. Good to speak with you today.
Where are you at the moment? Are you in Australia?
I am in Sydney, Australia for, this is the first time I've ever been through Australia, so having a glorious time.
Geez, disappointing. You've been in Australia for about a week and you couldn't even come to New Zealand. Shame on you.
Well, here's the good news. The good news is that, I even more than I thought through emails and correspondence with fans, I have a very, very solid fan base down here, and I'm putting an international tour together.
Wow.
The first international comedy tour that's going to take my show out of the States, and I definitely, absolutely look forward to Australia, and I'm going to make sure that I can come through your neck of the woods, too.
Because
Wicked.
I think your show would go down really well down here. We had Chris Rock here a couple of months ago, and his show sold out in about an hour, and I reckon you'd have a similar result.
I think that if I were to come back down here, like I said, knowing kind of after having spent a little time here now, I feel like I could do you proud in this area of the world and give some great shows.
Well, we're all sick puppies down this end of the world, so we've got really good senses of humour.
Oh yeah, I'm a pretty big screw up too, so we can relate.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to offend someone from Australia or New Zealand.
Well, you know what? It's great because the one thing I like about I love the sarcasm from the people I've met down here. It makes me feel like every family reunion I ever went to growing up.
I love it. And I think more people have seen your YouTube clips than the entire population of New Zealand, so I'm sure you'd do fine.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's an incredible world we live in, where somebody can post something online, and then the next thing you know, I'm getting off a plane here in Australia, and somebody walking up saying, "Hey, I just saw your clip that you posted last night on YouTube." So it's a great tool to be able to get out and make the world a bit smaller, so that I feel like my comedy will go over anywhere and everywhere that I travel.
Well, a guy in the building who we work with, he just said, who are you interviewing? And we said, Dane Cook. And he was like, who's Dane Cook? And we said, he's the comedian guy, does the Oprah routine. And he just started laughing and said, oh, everyone gets a whale.
Somebody actually came up to me on the street and yelled that at me last night, and I forgot that it was my own joke. And I was like, why is this guy yelling about whales?
Love it.
That's brilliant. And because you do a lot of work on your website, don't you? Like, you actually reach out to your own fans on your website every day.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, my whole goal, early on using the internet was, I grew up loving punk bands and watching a lot of documentaries about how some of these bands were really self-made back in the 70s, and the whole idea of standing on the corner in these cities and passing out flyers and really just kind of doing the groundwork. And I thought, you know what, instead of sitting in my underwear eating cereal 23 hours a day, why don't I get online and try to meet the people via internet, emails and instant messengers, and try to build up a following so I can have a nice career for myself and hopefully make a few fans. And those few fans have certainly spread.
That's amazing, isn't it? And you all did it from your couch.
I did the entire. I have the same chair, the very first chair I bought in this apartment when I first moved to Los Angeles. And I didn't have a lot of money, but I said I'm going to buy myself a comfortable chair because I'm going to sit in it for 5 years and again try to be elected, so to speak, through the politics of comedy. And when I sit in that chair now, I'm certainly looking at things from a different perspective. It's been a good run.
But it seems like good things happen for you whenever you leave that chair. I mean, I was reading you've worked with the three big Jessicas, Jessica Biel, Simpson, and Alba.
Yeah, I had we would call that the Jessica hat trick.
Oh, which one of those girls is the hottest in real life?
That's well, first of all, that's an impossible question to answer because growing up with 5 sisters, I learned never pick the favorite girl. That would show less tact. But on the other side, I will say that all 3 of those women were absolutely earning of their status as some of the most beautiful women on the planet. They're certainly jaw droppers.
Wow.
Can you tell us which one's got the best personality or the best sense of humour?
Well, I think that the three of them share a really authentic personality as far as humor. All three of them were, when I met them, had either come to my shows or been at comedy shows, and definitely had an easy kind of off the cuff sense of humor. So I would say first and foremost, those are three girls that like to laugh and really have a good time, whether it's at work or at leisure.
And Jessica Simpson's good in bed?
Even I'm uncomfortable with that question.
Suddenly
I love it.
Suddenly things get a bit awkward.
Okay, anyway, now Dane, we have just seen My Best Friend's Girl in advance, which we're very lucky to have seen. And I read some bad reviews about it, so I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. When I saw the movie, I just laughed out loud. It was so funny. What's up with the people who write bad reviews about your movies? Do you get angry?
No, you definitely don't get angry. It's, I've been doing stand-up comedy now for 18 years, and early on, and certainly the formative years, and having done, every type of show and every type of location, and had every critic in every city pick apart my act and say, he's great, he sucks, he's funny, he stinks, he's got no future, he's got a bright future, he's a marketing genius, he's an absolute idiot. Once you kind of go through that machine and for so many years hear everybody's very distinct opinion, it reminds me of something Mr. Bill Cosby said to me one time backstage at the David Letterman program. I asked him, I said, Mr. Cosby, what's the key to success? And he said, I have no idea what the key to success is, but I know what the key to failure is, and that's trying to please everybody. So when people come out and they want to, write a review or attack, the film or my comedy, it's, I absolutely understand it, and I am the prime example that a little controversy is certainly better for business than being boring and vanilla.